abdominal descending aorta. Abdominal descending aorta, or just abdominal aorta is good enough. Okay?
And the green one was?
This is the thoracic descending aorta. This one is the abdominal descending aorta. Abdominal, yes. Okay? Now, this as far as the blood vessels associated with the heart chambers are concerned. Now, let us look at the coronary circulation. For the coronary circulation, I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible for you to remember. Look at this and follow me. Here, forget about your lab manual. This is the right atrium. You open it up like that. Right at the edge of it, right here. At the edge of it, running at the edge of it, right here. This red blood vessel is the right coronary artery. There's nothing simpler than that. Okay? Right atrium, you open it up, right here, right coronary artery. You follow the right coronary artery when it comes to the edge of the heart. The edge is called margin, correct? So this is going to be the marginal branch. The marginal branch of the right coronary artery. So this is the right coronary artery. The branch it gives right at the edge of the heart here, that is the marginal branch. The full name is marginal branch of the right coronary artery, but you don't have to write all of that. Marginal branch is enough. Then you follow it. You still follow the right coronary artery. At the very back here, it gives you this branch. And that is the posterior interventricular branch of the right coronary artery. Okay? But you don't have to write the whole thing. Posterior interventricular branch is good enough. Okay? You got that? That is the right coronary artery. Right here, running down the edge of the right atrium, giving you the marginal branch at the edge, giving you the posterior interventricular branch down here. Okay? So that is one of the things I said, when there is a label right here, it can mean more than one thing. The depression is the sulcus, the red blood vessel is the posterior interventricular branch, labeled in the same spot. Now, let us go now to the left coronary artery. The left coronary artery comes out from the same spot as the right coronary artery, but it goes underneath the pulmonary trunk. So you cannot see it, and I cannot label it. Okay? What I can label is that when it comes right out here, at the edge of the left atrium, it gives you this branch going down here, this red branch going down here. That is the anterior interventricular branch of the left coronary artery. Anterior interventricular branch will make you just happy. I'm accepted. Okay? Now, you follow it down around here. This red one going around right here. Okay? That is the circumflex branch of the left coronary artery. Circumflex branch is quite enough. Okay? So that is it. Left coronary artery itself cannot be labeled, but the two branches start from the bottom of the left atrium, and this one going down here is the anterior interventricular branch. This one going around here, that is the circumflex branch. Circumflex. Circumflex means to go around. And because this is going around, it's called circumflex. Okay? That is as far as the arteries are concerned. As far as the veins are concerned, we are going to stick with the names that are in your lab manual. And here they are. Okay? Your marker, what is this? This is the inferior vena cava. Right next to it, where my finger is sitting, right here. That is the coronary sinus. And it is going to be labeled exactly where it is, right next to the inferior vena cava. That is, okay, that is the coronary sinus, right next to the inferior vena cava. From the coronary sinus, that is your marker now. From the coronary sinus, you go this way, okay? That is the great cardiac vein, the great cardiac vein. You go the other way, that is the small cardiac vein. That is the small cardiac vein. Okay? Very simple. You go down here. That is the middle cardiac vein. You go down here. That is the posterior cardiac vein. Very simple if you make a marker and follow it. Your marker is the coronary sinus. This way, great cardiac vein. This way is small cardiac vein. Down here, middle cardiac vein. Down here, posterior cardiac vein. Bingo. You got it. Okay? Now, that is from outside. Now, in your lab manual, it talks about the anterior cardiac vein. It's supposed to be continuation of the great cardiac vein down here. But we consider, your lab manual consider all of this to be the great cardiac vein. So don't worry about the anterior cardiac vein. All right. So now let us go to the inside. Let us open this achy breaky heart. Okay. First thing, when the label, it is open like that, and there is a label inside the right atrium like this. The question is going to say, identify the ridges or the structures. These are called pectinate muscles. Pectinate muscles, number 35 in your lab manual. Page 21. 23? 21. Okay? Pectinate muscle. Right here, and they are going to be labeled right here, guaranteed to be labeled right here. No other place. Okay? Now, from the right atrium, going into the right ventricle, you have this valve, which is called what? Tricuspid valve. The tricuspid valves is going to be labeled in one of two ways. It could be labeled right here, inside the right atrium, like that. And the question is going to be very specific. ID the valve, tricuspid valve. Or it could be labeled right here on this side. Okay? It could be labeled on this side. And the question is going to be ID the valve. It's still the tricuspid valve. But if the label is on this side like this, and instead of ID the valve, The question said ID the strings. Those are called chordae tenderni. And the question is going to say strings. So you are not going to get confused between what need to be labeled.
What's it called?
Okay?
The strings are the what?
Chordae tenderni. Chordae tenderni.
Or tendinous cord?
Or tendinous cords. Or tendinous cords. Chordae tenderni is the Latin, tendinous cord is English. Either one is accepted. Okay? Now, on the other side, between the left atrium and the left ventricle, there is this valve right here. Okay? This is what? The mitral valve or the bicuspid valve. It could also be labeled either way. From the atrium here, and the question is going to say identify the valve. Okay? See it? Okay, identify the valve, labeled right there. Or it could be labeled right here, inside the left ventricle. And the question will also say identify the valve. If the label is inside the ventricle like that, and the question said identify the strings, these are still the chordae tenderni. Now, the muscle where the chordae tenderni attach themselves to the wall of the heart are called papillary muscles. This is the papillary muscle right here, the little papillary muscle right here, but the most likely spot for a papillary muscle to be labeled is right here on the left ventricle, because this is the biggest papillary muscle you can see. Okay? That is the biggest papillary muscle right there. Okay?
Papillary muscle.
Okay.
Right there, papillary muscle. Number 10, isn't it?
17 and 10. Yeah. 17 and 10. It's four.
Okay. All right. Okay? Papillary muscle. Most likely going to be labeled right here, so it is very clear. Okay? Next. Within the heart itself, we have another set of valves inside here at the very entrance of the pulmonary trunk. This is the pulmonary semilunar valve. Okay, you can write pulmonary semilunar valve or just simply pulmonary SL valve. I will accept it, but I will just know that you are a lazy bum. Okay? Now, the other one right here, that is another semilunar valve, is located inside the left ventricle, and it is right here. Okay? Right inside the left ventricle. This is the aortic semilunar valve. The aortic semilunar valve. Okay? This is it.
Aortic valve.
Yeah. Aortic semilunar valve. Number 20, page 20.
So we put SL again.
Huh?
We can put SL.
You can put SL too, okay? You are already proving the lazy bum part, right? Yeah? Okay. All right. Now also, you have to remember that this open side of the heart here can be used to label the layers of the heart wall. Okay? If the label is outside here, okay, that is the epicardium. If the label is right here, that is the myocardium.
Where?
Right here, the green one. That is the myocardium. It is not, these are not labeled in your lab manuals. No, you need to watch me here.
Let me see.
That is where they are going to be labeled.
Oh, it does myocardium, 33.
Okay?
33 is what? The top one, what is it? The top one.
This one here is the epicardium.
That's 33.
This one is the myocardium.
Okay. Yeah, it's
Okay? And inside
Endocardium.
is the endocardium.
Somebody gonna miss that.
That is going to be inside like that. Okay?
Let me see. Oh, okay.
Inside. Inside, yes. Okay?
Endocardium.
That is the endocardium. Okay? Endocardium. There is another label that could be done inside, but I will show you what it is in the other piece. If the label is on any one of those three places, the question is going to straightforward say name or ID the layer labeled with the orange, green, or blue. Okay? When it say layer, so you are talking about the heart layers, wall layers. Okay? Now, you have to remember another thing here, that this piece, this piece came from here. Okay? So it can also be used as it is to label all of those things. In this area here, another important label is right here between the two ventricles. When the label is here, the question is not going to be the layer because this is not the myocardium. Okay, so if you wrote myocardium, you are wrong. This is the interventricular septum, or simply ventricular septum. Okay? Now, all of those can be labeled right here, and I will show it to you, and I will add one more too. This is the left ventricle, this is the right ventricle. How do you know this is thicker than this one? Okay? But here, first, the label for the interventricular septum, right here. Right here. Okay? Now, here is the label for the epicardium, right out here. Also, right here is the label for the myocardium, right here. Also, right here is the label for the endocardium, right here.
But all of
The
those
yellow.
layers.
Huh?
They'll be layers.
When it is endocardium, myocardium, or epicardium, the question is going to say, identify the layer. When it is the septum, the question is going to say, identify the structure, or the wall, or the muscle. Okay? Now, an additional thing for you. I'm going to take all of these out now, you know what they are. An additional thing for you right here. If the label is just especially inside the left ventricle, like that. Okay? The question is going to say identify the structures or the ridges or the muscles. These are trabeculae carneae. Number 36, page 21. Trabeculae carneae.
Identifying structure.
Structure, ridges,
It's only this one, isn't it?
or muscles. Okay? 21, page 21.
Oh, 21. What I'm trying to.
Okay?
Oh, shit.
Where you out?
Right there.
Yep, right here. Okay? 36. Trabeculae carni. Okay? So, this little piece, okay? You can have 5 things labeled into it. The 3 layers, the septum, and the trabeculae carni. Usually, there is not more than 3 labels per piece, or per model, or per station. Okay? So, don't be surprised if you find this. And the most confusing part, don't get yourself confused between the